All right. What's up, everybody? It's the Arty 84 show live here from our locations, episode 172. As always, the Adam the Mallet to the left of me, and he's being killed right now, if you didn't know. Attention, allegedly. That movie, that movie actually freaked me out as a kid.
The first one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that movie. It's one of my top movies.
It was probably because we were like in our early high school days when that came out, and it was just fucking freaky. Early 2000s that movie came out, late 90s?
96 was the first one.
Yeah, okay, so middle school, I guess. Yeah, that's probably why it was so fucking freaky, because it was and then you end up finding out who the characters were. They're like two of their friends, or acquaintances.
Yeah, it's like a whodunit murder mystery. All four of them are like that. They're all murder mysteries.
Didn't one of them ended up being someone's mom? Or am I making that up?
Yeah, the second one.
Second one, right? It was the guy who kills, and it was their mom.
Yeah.
We're not spoiling a movie that came out 25 years ago.
Yeah, fuck that. You got I'll give you 3 years or so.
Yeah, if you haven't seen
that,
Dream yet, then you probably should. I don't know. Go see it. It's not a bad movie. I don't like horror movies. I'm not a fan of horror. I don't like being scared of movies, and I also don't like movies that give me a high level of anxiety in the movie as well. I'm not a fan of those at all.
I like to be scared. I'm the opposite, because it's it's kind of like an adrenaline rush, because then you realize you're safe. I don't like sad movies because I don't want to cry. I understand being scared, an adrenaline rush, like an amusement park ride.
Yeah.
I don't understand crying though. I don't want to feel sad,
I'm not a fan of sad movies either. I've any good sad movie I've probably only seen once. Like The Notebook, only seen once.
Yep. Won't watch again. I won't fucking watch Marley and Me. That movie's fucking banned.
Fuck that. I watched that once.
No.
Fuck that. It once was enough. Rain on Me, the one with Adam Sandler and his daughter, his two daughters and wife die in 9/11, and he watches the plane crash into the mountain.
Yeah, fuck that.
The mountain, the building. Yeah, nope. Those are movies you see once. Why do girls enjoy seeing movies that make them cry their eyes out? Why you see some girls who just watch The Notebook over and over and over again.
Yeah, I think because they want to find that guy that'll make them feel that way. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
But and it's not that they're bad movies. Some of them, it's just like I said, I don't want to get upset. You know what I mean?
Some of them are really good movies. Rain on Me is a very well put together movie, but and especially for us knowing and living through 9/11, have a kind of, I guess you could say, a personal connection to the movie, since you kind of were alive when that shit, because you know what, you've known people or heard of people that had experienced what Adam Sandler's character had to do. It just makes it gives you that extra level of ugh. I had the same issue with it's not a horror movie or a sad movie, but Patriots Day, knowing that.
Oh, that movie's retarded. Yeah, I've seen that.
It's a stupid movie, but knowing that it's an event that I have attended every year except for that year, for the most part, that was the only year I did not go for 15 consecutive years. And it was only because I was forced to go to the Dominican Republic. Other than that, I would have been there with probably danger powers, but I wouldn't have been.
You weren't, and you wouldn't have been at the. Who knows if you would have been at the finish line?
We never would have been at the finish line. We would never been on that side of the road. It would have been impossible, because we would have been at the Red Sox game. We would have been at 2:00 on a Patriots Day game. The game gets over at we probably been on Lansdowne Street drinking, most likely. So I don't ever say that oh God, whatever, I was there. I was just saying that thank God I wasn't in the city that day, because I didn't want to have to deal with that psychological fucking mess. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, that shit went sideways all over the city.
Yeah, so. I know it was statistically impossible for me to ever be anywhere near where the bombs went off, just because of the logistics of where they were located. I would never ever been able to cross Boylston Street. It would have been impossible. You wouldn't be able to get over there. The only way I would ever be able to do that, I would get all the way down to the freaking Commons, come all the way back. It would have been a task that most people would see as ridiculous to do. So, but stuff like that, I see that movie, I'm ugh, kind of gives you a sick feeling in your stomach, oh God.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Twin Towers came out with Nicolas Cage 2 years after 9/11?
Funny you're talking about Nicolas Cage. All I've been doing the last 2 weeks is watching Nicolas Cage movies, because I've been working on a video that's actually coming out Friday, a new potato video.
Oh, nice.
But
check out the Whirlwind Potato on YouTube.
That one I skipped because it came out a little too soon, I thought. A little too soon.
It was 2 years after, or if less.
Yeah, maybe I'll watch it eventually, but
I think I own it. I think it was during my times where I was taking Netflix movies and just burning them onto my hard drive, and I think I got that movie, but I don't think I ever fully watched it. I don't think I've ever seen it. I've seen pieces of it, but I don't ever have sat through it because it was just a weird movie. The timing of it was very odd. Like, why would you come out with something so soon?
A little too soon, yeah.
And it's like they haven't come out with a 9/11 movie since then, have they? That I don't know of.
Yeah. What's the one? There's one in the that took place in the plane.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. The plane that crashed in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, the one that went down. The people revolted. There was a movie about that. I forget what that was called.
Yeah, that was it was called Flight. Whatever the flight was, Flight 69 or something like that.
Yeah.
But I guess the Rain on Me movie was has flavors of 9/11, obviously, because his wife and kids died in the airplane.
Movies about 9/11.
So going to Disneyland. That's the sad part. He was flying up to Boston to meet his wife and kids because they were going to go to Disneyland. Ugh. And there were people on that plane. There were kids on that plane going to Disneyland.
A lot of documentaries. A
lot of documentaries, yeah.
United 93. That's what you're talking about.
United 93. That was it, yes. I've never seen that movie. I can't see movies. Like, I guess people who are like older, I guess probably a lot of them are dead. But like, if you were like a grandfather or something like that who like served in World War II, I think it would be very difficult for them to see like World War II movies. Don't you think?
No, I agree. Oh yeah, I agree.
Or like the Vietnam era, like people who are a little bit older than our parents who served in Nam. Like, I think that would be very kind of horrific for them to kind of have to watch a movie of an event that they actually experienced.
Actually, there's a lot. There's 11 movies. A lot of them didn't really get a lot of attention. I guess they count Zero Dark 30. That was probably the more popular one because that involved catching Bin Laden. So obviously that ties to it. But the one Nicolas Cage is World Trade Center. Yeah. World
Trade. That's what it was. Yeah, I was saying Twin Towers was the fucking Harry Potter movie or something.
No, Twin Towers was Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, that's what it was. Yeah, one of those goofy movies.
Yeah.
World Trade Center. Yeah, way too. What year did that come out, by the way? Do you have it up right there?
2006.
Way too soon.
Yeah.
5 years later. Come on.
A little too soon.
And he was like the Mark Wahlberg character, like in Patriots Day. Like, he was everywhere he had to be at the right time. Like, he was like
yeah.
He was like I think he worked he was a Port Authority police officer. I think that was his character in the movie. And he was like everywhere he was in the tower, he grabbed someone. He was over on the street, he grabbed someone. He was like just saving people left and right. Like a fucking Nicolas Cage. He's like, "Where are you gonna go? Come with me. I'm Nicolas Cage. I'll take you outside."
Well, the problem with the Marky Mark one is it all boils down to kind of like one scene. There's like a scene where like the FBI and Kevin Bacon are like sifting through like all the stuff, and like they're in the thing, and they need Mark Wahlberg to point out where all the cameras are. And Mark Wahlberg's like, over by CVS, go there. And they're like, CVS, they put the timestamp on. It's like the FBI couldn't figure it out. Yeah. They needed Mark Wahlberg.
And I know the Lord and Taylor has a camera over there. Boom. Oh, and I know the restaurant over there. Boom, they have a camera. We can get that camera.
Whiskey Steakhouse. Whiskey Steakhouse, pull it up.
Whiskey Steakhouse, we got it over there. We got a camera over there. He's like walking like the visual street. Like, okay.
He's the only one that owns. He's the only one that knows, Arty. The FBI can't figure that out.
Adam, no. Also, they have. It's called Google Maps or Google Street for that matter. They could have just Googled street down the street. Like, oh, let's go check. Like, you didn't think they go to like, let's go check the Sports Authority or not Sports Authority, fucking Marathon Sports camera. Yeah, maybe we do that one. Yeah, and the fact that Mark Wahlberg's character was everywhere he had to be at the right time. Like, he was like, all of a sudden he was in Watertown when the guy was there. He was all of a sudden he was in It was very bizarre to me. It wasn't a bad movie. I watched it with higher expectations, but I don't know why I didn't disservice to myself like that. I should have just took it with a grain of salt that it was going to be a hacky Mark Wahlberg movie. Favorite Mark Wahlberg movie?
Favorite Mark Wahlberg movie?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tough. Boogie Nights is up there.
That's mine. Boogie Nights right there.
I got to pull up the list. He's in more movies than I thought. I was actually thinking about that the other day.
Ted is a second to Boogie Nights. I can watch Ted.
That's a reasonable movie to pick. Yeah. I would say that's a candidate. Mark Wahlberg, IMDb. Dude!
Departed.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's right. He's been in a lot of good movies.
Yeah, he's in The Departed. I know he doesn't have a big role.
The Fighter.
Yeah. He had just enough in The Departed to make it not Mount work. Like his character was like he overplayed his character in The Departed. We all can admit that he went over the top. But at the end of The Departed, what he did kind of was awesome. When he fucking blows fucking Matt Damon away.
Actually, Pain and Gain is a good one. The movie he did with The Rock. It's based on a true story. That movie is very underrated. I like that. I like the comedy of the other guys. The other guys
is really good with fucking Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, that's a good.
Very underrated. I like that movie a lot.
Dirty Mike and the Boys.
I laughed so hard when remember when The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson are like in for the bushes and they jump off the rooftop and they splat like on the ground. Yeah. It's just out of nowhere. And the next scene they're at the funeral and they're like, "What did you do that for? It wasn't even an awning." Like this is like their egos just got in the way.
That was actually a good movie. Yeah, I guess they've done a few good movies. Yeah, Boogie Nights is great though. The opening scene of Boogie Nights is absolutely amazing. It's very much like how Goodfellas, that scene when they're in the cabana and it's like one shot. They never take the camera off.
Yeah, tracking shot. Yeah.
Yeah, the open scene in Boogie Nights is like a 2.5 minute tracking shot that goes from the sign outside the studio and goes in, and actually it gives you like a kind of like a sense of all the characters in the movie. It actually films every single guy. It hits Roller Girl, it hits Mark Wahlberg, it hits everything, and kind of makes its way through into the dance floor. And the disco music is great, and everything was just the lights, and it was fucking great tracking scene.
Back in the day, like around then, they had to do it with like a single take. But now though, they can do it with it looking like it's in one take. It's not. Like Birdman, the whole movie is a tracking shot, the entire movie.
Really?
And there's just no way in hell you can do that for an entire movie. It's impossible.
Scorsese was the king of the tracking shots. Like I think he was the one who kind of like really got it down to he took that shot and turned it into like a whole, act in the movie. Like it was like that shot told so many stories. Like the Goodfellas scene when they're walking into the banner and you get to meet all the characters and Henry's introducing fucking what's her face to all the characters and stuff like this, and he was like, "Oh, this is so and so. This is what I'm." And they goes through the kitchen. He knows everyone in the kitchen. He comes out of the kitchen, goes into the club, and there's a table set for him. He sits there, and they turn it 180 degrees, and the guy's on stage singing. He gets him a bottle of champagne. It's like, he's like, Karen, this is Tommy 2 times. He says everything 2 times. You know what I mean?
Get the papers.
That's great. They don't make fucking this. When are movies made like this? They don't make movies like that. Like with the art of the cinematography. Like, what was the last good movie you've seen that was filmed awesome?
Haven't been many at all in the last year because of COVID.
But I'm like, I have to go back into the archives and see what was the last movie I seen, and I could visually, the way they filmed it was like part of the movie. You know what I mean? Like it told a story. A lot of them are just like 3-shot movies. You get the wide shot, you get the close up, and you get the 2-shot. And it's like, that's it. It's back and forth. There's no like here's the thing with who's the friggin' black Spike Lee. Spike Lee does this weird shot, and then you can actually YouTube it. He does this shot where he puts the character on like a wagon, and he pulls them, but they don't walk. They just stand still. So it's like a weird shot where the person's moving, but they're not walking. They're kind of just floating in space. And so someone put a whole. It's a Spike Lee shot. He uses it in every single movie he does, and it's a YouTube complemental. What word am I looking for? When you when you like combine a bunch of stuff. What do you call that? A compla.
Like a compilation.
Compilation. That's the word.
Compilation.
It's a compilation of this particular shot that Spike Lee does. It's like the moving track scene, whatever like that. And he takes every single movie he ever did. And it's a very odd scene because like they do like I forget what fucking movie it was, but the character's just moving, and the guy next to him is actually walking. You can see his arms moving, and the character's on this like wagon and just like floating in the air. It's like, what? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much all I do is watch movies right now. There's nothing.
Yeah. I mean, we remember you making that list during the.
Still have it. It's still growing. It's still growing, man.
So we should bring in our guest. I think it's probably a good time. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's AJ. I think it's Hapenny. Do you think it's Hapenny? That's what it looks like, right? Hapenny. He's a comedian.
Hapenny. Yeah, close. Yeah. I think we're in the ballpark. We're close enough.
So he's a comedian, but he also made a point to put in his profile that he liked the WWE. So I mean, that's a significant thing in people's lives. Maybe I want to know. Maybe he has some inside.
It's a big ass industry, man.
Yeah. Let's bring him in right now. He's been in the waiting room for the longest time. Ooh, and look at that. He actually prepared himself.
Look at the comedy festival. Is that live?
Oh, it's already sold out.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah. I got you, Kaya.
What's going on, man?
Hey.
When is the meeting?
I'm just watching a little wrestling right now. And Shaquille O'Neal is his first wrestling match.
Oh shit!
Right now?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Forget how big he is until he's standing next to anyone.
He's a giant. He's a what do you call it? A genetic
genetic
malfunction.
Genetic freak. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, genetic freak. Yeah. AJ, so where you joining us from tonight?
Oh, I am joining from Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Oh, beautiful,
cool.
Beautiful Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Not so much in January, but in July, it's a great place to be.
Yeah, not so much in March either.
True.
Are you near the tip? Or are you kind of right in the black middle of the traffic?
Oh, just a tip. See how it feels. I'm on the outside of the tip.
Outside.
But like right where the clit is. That's where I'm at.
You're hitting the rim, the top of the rim. Right?
just
a little bit.
You gotta.
This is where you are.
Playing with the bean.
Yeah, that's it, right there, right above where you're gonna be.
Hey, that's why it's called Beantown, because it's like right at the.
Oh, that's true.
So you had a little thing up there for the main comedy. Is that coming up pretty soon? Was that from years past?
That is not this Saturday. This Saturday I'm at Headliners Comedy. I'm at Headliners Comedy Club this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Then the week after that's Main Event Comedy, and that's in, I want to say, Lewiston, Maine.
Okay.
Everyone hates that town. I love Lewiston. Great crowd.
I went to the first time ever to Lewiston a couple months ago. I ended up in the Auburn Mall. That's like kind of the next town over. It was nothing bad. It was just it was a main town. It was nothing.
It was just a mall.
Yeah, there's a good swingers club up there at the VFW too. I don't know if it still exists, but about 10 years ago,
they had. I like to fuck. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Who wants to fuck?
Is that what you do after the show? You kind of look at the crowd and be like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Take me.
I do it during the show. Just like, who came to fuck?
What's the typical response? You get a good hey, me.
It's more of a not an on purpose one, but you hear like a woo, I'm just like, all right, talk to you.
It's like just kidding, not really, kinda, not, just kind of feeling it out.
All right, a couple of the third row, they both went woo simultaneously, so I guess I'm fucking them both. All right.
Oh, right.
Listen, sometimes you gotta take one to get one. You know what I mean? That's the way it looks like.
Yeah, or they're both taking one. Who knows?
So, are you a big WWE fan? I noticed there was you made a point to put that in your profile on Instagram that you were WWE.
Yeah. That's pretty much my niche that I stumbled across.
Okay.
And on TikTok, and then all of a sudden, you like wrestling, and then a bunch of people went to my page and okay, that's my thing now. And thank God it's something that I love.
Yeah.
So I've always been curious to know. Arty and I aren't wrestling people, but it's like we want to understand.
Well, what do you do? Talk to the people that you love?
You
didn't grow up saying and you just make believe. I'm not buying it.
No, it's cool. Anybody who's into wrestling, it's a major fucking cash cow. It has fucking fans everywhere. It's amazing. But I'm just curious to know what is it about wrestling to you that you just love so much? I'm always curious.
Oh, the bitches.
That's a good reason.
Because I'm slowly discovering why I like it more within the past 5 years than I ever did. It's storytelling at its absolute finest, and some of the best comedy in any entertainment that I've seen has actually been in pro wrestling.
Nice. Okay.
And some of the best callbacks I've ever seen is actually in pro wrestling too. when you see somebody cut a promo, it's literally almost the same comedic timing and the same spacing in between words and the same anticipation. Really? Like there's some wrestlers that I've learned more comedy from than I have actual comedians. And just to see the evolution of it now and see sensitivity levels in comedy 20 years ago and also sensitivity levels in pro wrestling 20 years ago, because in pro wrestling and in comedy, people were in blackface and nobody said a thing. And now everybody's apologizing for it. Yeah. Jimmy Fallon had to apologize for being in blackface recently, and that was on
stupid.
the show
like
SNL.
20 years ago, yeah.
That was so stupid.
Yeah, it was 20 plus years ago. Yeah. Triple H, also in blackface, still never asked to apologize. So
that's true.
They'll get to him. They'll dig it up eventually. The cancel culture loves trying to fucking find shit, and they have nothing better to do but like look at their fucking computers all day and be like, let's go after this guy now.
Hey, Hulk Hogan hasn't apologized for banging Bubba Lovesprung's wife with his big giant tin can cock. So,
well, like I saw that porno. His cock wasn't that big. Like I was feeling pretty good about myself. I'm like, wow, just like that was average Asian height, but I'm like,
Terry, it's not that good. Yeah, you think
it's just like brother thrust.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't found Macho Man doing it like digging. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Slim Jim.
Slim Jim.
No, don't buy. Gonna snap you. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Simon.
So what wrestling's on a Thursday night? Is it Thursday Night Jam or something like that? I'm not.
Dude, you don't know what day it is. You don't know what month
it
Wednesday,
is. Right?
Like
Wednesday. I don't.
You're the one that booked me on this. Where the fuck are you right
I don't
now?
watch. I don't watch wrestling. I know there's a Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, but you know that what day it is. Oh, it's the one that ends in Y.
Yeah, it's close enough. I mean, we do the
yeah.
it's
Wine December,
Wednesdays.
Right?
Yeah, Wine Wednesdays. Get there and enjoy.
What kind of wine? Little Snoop Dogg wine?
No, this is the stuff you get for like $10 at Target in the big bottle, like the yellow.
You can get the Snoop Dogg wine for $12. You spent $2 more.
And what's that? Is it any good?
Oh yeah, it's by 19 Crimes. It's delicious.
All right, and what varietal is it of the wine?
It's a red mix.
Ooh, okay.
Because I personally don't like the white wines. I mean, they're just not for me.
I throw up on white wine. That's just typically my go-to. I'll sit there like I get drunk sorority girl and just fucking get hammered on white wine. I'm like, this is great, and then get nauseous and throw up later on that night. So, and then get that.
You're my soulmate. I don't need to find a man. That's you. We're gonna be friends forever. She's a cunt. You're just like, I'm still next to you.
It's like a typical girl right there. That's exactly what that's exactly what they'll do.
Are you
women?
Are you born and raised in the Cape, or are you an import?
Yeah, I was born and raised on the Cape. Literally half my family thinks I was born in North Dakota because most of my family was.
Okay.
And like okay, I guess you think I'm boring enough. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but most of my family is from Fargo, North Dakota, and apparently that's where I lived for my first couple of years. But I was actually born in Hyannis, Massachusetts, middle of Cape Cod.
Yeah.
Moved there as a kid. Been on pretty much here most of my life. Exception maybe like Martha's Vineyard, which is still technically Cape and the islands, but yeah. And rent here is fucking awesome. I pay in my room turquoise. They won't let me do that in any apartment in Boston or any surrounding of it. They're like, yeah, we don't fucking care. Just go ahead and do what you want.
So you don't mind the drive, huh? Going because I mean, there's probably not a lot of comedy gigs in Greater Cape Cod ish.
There is jack shit right now for gigs. Yeah. Like there was a booming comedy scene a year ago.
Was there really? Yeah.
Yeah. It originally started off with me and Ed Waugh booking shows, and then Taryn Jackson started doing stuff, and then a bunch of other bookers started doing stuff down here.
Really?
Like,
okay.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I have something to do every weekend if I'm not doing something in New Hampshire or Boston, Rhode Island, etc.
Yeah. So
I always had something on the weekends, and then come March 13th, last year,
almost there.
That was the last gig I had. Well, I actually set it up through Brown Paper Tickets, and they still have not given me my money yet.
Really?
$700. They still owe me, and
We need
I'm
to
fine.
shake them down. We could send a group
We
out
know,
there.
we know somebody who would.
That can take care of this problem for you if you like.
Oh yeah, we'll shake them down, motherfucker.
Arty, we can get Big Joe B after.
Yeah, we'll get the old mafia. The guys who drive the Cadillacs to drive down some paper bag fuckers and shake the fucking shit out of them.
Yeah, because they're over in Seattle right now. There's a church that they owe $12,000 to.
Damn.
That they haven't given back any money, and they send like one update every 2 months. They're just like, because the COVID is slowing down and whatnot. Like, bitch, you stopped paying people February 8th.
That's right.
Like, go ahead and like spread. There's no shutdowns at that point.
Yeah.
Just like stop lying and just admit you're greedy, and we'll give you a little bit of pass. We'll give you a little bit.
Yeah, just be like, I'm more like, I'm cool if somebody's like, hey, listen, I spent your money. I'm sorry. I went to the fucking casino. I got a hooker. Like, it's just like, it's nothing I can do about it. I'd feel more if someone said that to me. I'd be like, I can't get mad at you. Like, I'm mad at you, but I'm like, you at least you're being honest. You know what I mean? I'm just fucking making an
we spent it all on hookers and blow. But you got a cigarette?
Yeah. Do you have any of the hookers and the blows still left? Maybe you can give me a little appetizer. We can go from there. Fucking crazy. So when you you do gigs like New Hampshire and like up in that Boston, do you stay the night or do you turn around and come back to the Cape?
Yeah. So this weekend, because I have work, Friday night I have headliners, so I'm coming back to Cape the same night.
Yeah,
working 10 hours, and then I drive back, do it all again.
Damn.
The following weekend is exception because it's my birthday, so I'm gonna drink heavily because I pretty much stopped drinking when COVID started.
You stopped drinking?
Stopped.
And
you're like the opposite of me. I started heavily drinking once COVID started.
Well, like I've just had a bunch of shit to do. Like I found myself being more busier. They're having me work more, and then I started getting a bunch of virtual stuff. Like I started doing like a bunch of free virtual shows, just kind of get myself in the mix, just kind of get better so that I'm not losing it. And then all of a sudden, November came around, and a bunch of people wanted corporate gigs. Like I literally did my last corporate event Saturday. Last Saturday was my last one, and then after that, it's gonna be wedding season. Most of them are smaller weddings, obviously.
Yeah.
But wedding season is generally like spring to like maybe middle of October.
And you get a lot of like comedy gigs at weddings. I've never really heard of this thing before. Really?
Well, yeah, they're looking for an officiant. That's also a comedian. So I was the only one that was offering that service for a while. That's
actually a great service. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Oh yeah, and then luckily I got to a point where it was like, can we see a video? Just like, no, but I'm not gonna post someone else's wedding, but you can see the reviews I got from all the other weddings that I did. So luckily word of mouth has been helping me out a lot because they never seen me before. They don't know who the fuck I am. If you saw my headshot, like I look like a gay magician, which is strange because I don't do magic. So I
can see comedy at weddings going south real fast if you can't give the audience right. It's like, hey, look at the bride. She's an 8. If she lost some weight, maybe she'd be a 10. Ha. Like,
well, you may joke about that, Adam, but there's literally 2 instances, which is why I meet every couple through Zoom. Make sure I'm exactly what they want, so it's not a complete disaster.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it sounds like you want me to just roast your husband, call him fat, and say like no one will ever love you but me.
Oh, you can do that with the guy. You can do that with the guy. Girl, probably not. No, they want to be beautiful and Disney-like on their wedding day. You know,
and just tell her, lady, you should smile more.
Yeah.
And I had
one of my best men at my wedding try to roast me during his best man speech. Remember that, Adam? And Eric was saying that he was going to try to bang my wife.
He kind of hinted that he was going.
Oh, I thought you were saying that to Adam, like that was him.
No, it was one of our mutual friends. We used to
Adam, remember when you said you wanted to bang my wife at wedding night? Like, Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
So what happened? Do you still talk to? What happened?
One of my good
you
friends.
Still talk to this guy?
Yeah. He's not a man of. He's a comic, but he's his public speaking skills.
Who?
Eric Powers out of Boston.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Danger Powers. He was
That's
big
probably a good thing.
He was big in the late 90s, early 2000s. Not so much
Okay.
in the late 2020s. He's been a little, I don't know, non-existent.
Well, yeah, we'll say he's on hiatus. Long hiatus.
So I met him like 10, 12 years ago, bartending together. And he actually got me into doing stand-up back in the day. And then so we became the best man. So he does a speech, but he did it on his phone. He wrote it all out, and then his fucking phone
Jesus Christ.
phone died halfway through the speech. Now he's just like on the limit. Now he's winging it. And he's panicking. The panic in his face, and he's sweating, and he's pacing back and forth. He does this thing when he gets nervous called the Eric Shuffle. He starts shuffling around like this. And
oh yeah.
The sweat's pouring. And not to mention we had two best men. So like the first one did his speech, knocked it out of the park. Nice speech. So now he has to go and fucking follow this guy. And then he's all over the place. Then at one point he makes a reference to how he was going to bang my wife when he first met her. And then all this stuff. And everyone just looked at each other.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah. Then he started getting aggressive with the crowd. People started yelling stuff out and started heckling him.
I thought that too. And I looked over at my girlfriend, and I'm like, did he just kind of insinuate that he was going for her, and like she ended up with Arty instead? And then it was funny, Arty, because then about like 6 months later, you kind of brought it up to him when we were sitting there, and he's like, no, I didn't. And I'm like, yeah, you kind of did.
It was great. He was being like heckled by the crowd. It was just like a bad comedy show going, and I'm sitting there enjoying every minute of it. You know how like when you're friends with comics and they're bombing, how much enjoyment you get out of it just watching them just die on stage. It's just like,
because fuck them. I was just like, I don't want you to succeed. I
exactly.
want to get it before me.
We were just enjoying his bomb, like, and it was like he did a decent speech, but then when he lost everything, it was just going. It was like a 9/11 plane. It had no hope, and they were just sitting there. I'm like, oh, this is not going to end good. This is going to be bad. It was great.
That's why you were just saying.
Well, he spent all that time writing it on his phone that morning, so all the juice was gone.
It didn't charge
by the time.
But the whole comedy community, like they don't want each other to succeed. It's stupid. It's like the dumbest fucking thing ever, right? It's like, and they all like they're all like secretly like they're all just miserable, most of them, and they all backstabby and like. It's like, notice how anytime one of them becomes popular,
perfect background for comedy in general that you have.
Yeah.
But notice how anytime one of them becomes popular, or hits it, or becomes like very mainstream, all of a sudden it's like they stole jokes. It's like, no, you're just fucking jealous. Like there are some that do. Like I was watching one of your TikTok videos, you alluded to Carlos Mencia, and like that is one of them, but most of the time I don't believe it.
That's
I just
the
think
biggest example. Like that is
example.
The most extreme example.
Yeah. But like most of the time I just think it's a bunch of jealous little bitches who are like, he stole. I know a guy who knows a guy who says he would steal jokes. Yeah. Like, just shut the fuck up.
I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who steals from another guy that knows a guy. But even if I don't like somebody, because this is how I book shows on Cape Cod, even if somebody's not my cup of tea, one thing you can't deny is laughter from the crowd.
True.
If everyone else is laughing and you're not necessarily enjoying yourself, that's likely it's just you. So if I don't necessarily like them, but everyone else is laughing and they ask, hey, can you put me on a show? Fuck yeah, I'll put you on a show. Yeah. Because I'm not going to book only comedians I like. How fucking selfish is that? And that's the way that people book their shit.
It is, and it's not necessarily a good show, too, because you need to, like, kind of the formula. You need to kind of figure out what your crowd's going to be and figure out who's going to work that crowd. You don't want a guy who's telling dirty jokes to a crowd that's going to be a bunch of middle-aged, like, fucking people who are, like, super conservative. That makes no sense at all. The dick joke.
And that's why I tell people, too, is that the Red Nun show that I do, most of the crowd is very conservative. It makes it like middle-aged conservative or like young liberal kids. Mm-hmm. So just like don't do politics shit.
Yeah.
Just worry about being funny, because for the most part, like with the exception of like maybe like Ben Quick, Jordan Hendren, CV, and just like a lot of the people, like if
we had him on last week.
I love CV.
Yeah, great.
But the thing is, like, CV has like a bunch of different takes. And it's not necessarily like picking on one side. It's the same thing with Alex G and Pop. But like he can go on. He can go on and kill anywhere, because it's like not necessarily landing on one side. But most of the time that I see political humor, it's just that's not anything I haven't heard before. Like,
It was
Adam, you go back
mainstream.
to stealing jokes, like people stealing jokes. Like, I literally heard that shit on Kimmel the other day. I heard that on Colbert. You're not saying anything new.
There's nothing new. Back to politics for a second. I think the only mainstream comedian I have seen where they can pull that off was George Carlin. He was probably the only one that could pull off talking politics, and it was pretty funny.
Because he wasn't necessarily going after one politician. He was just going at the big guy. It's a big club, and you're not in it.
You're not in it.
And he was like the only guy really doing it back in the day too. A lot of comics didn't really want to touch that subject because it was so cliche.
Well,
you know,
Carlin was pretty much out the door. Like, a lot of people would argue that his later stuff wasn't the funniest, but to me, it was the most mesmerizing. Like, you're looking at it, it's just blowing your mind. Sure, the laughs per minute isn't the same as his late 80s and early 90s stuff, but you're kind of getting a little bit of an education, just a little bit of a taste.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Now, Adam was saying, just like we all want people to secretly fail. Like, even if I don't like someone, like I still will try to help them out. Because I told maybe like 24 comics, and maybe like half of them I'm actually friends with. It's just like, yo, post your shit on Instagram Reels. Like, most of the content that I've seen through other comics is better than mine. But the reason why I get more views is because I post more shit.
Yeah.
And you're posting directly to the wall. Like, post on Reels, put a couple of hashtags, you will maximize your audience. You have some cool crowd work shit. You have some cool videos of your stand-up. You have this cool stuff. Just post it to Reels and you get more. And then, like, most people brush me off like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And they're just like, oh, why are you telling me this? I didn't think you liked me. Like, I don't. But I still want you to but I still want you to succeed.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Because it'd be awfully selfish of me if, like, for you, like, not want you to succeed just because I don't like your shit.
That's funny you said that too.
Come on.
Because Reels is very much like TikTok. Like, you sit there and like you get
very much,
and it just keeps on going. I sat on the toilet today at work for 15 minutes going through TikTok, and it was just because it was like another one, then another one, then another one, another one. Before I know it, I'm sitting there losing track of time just watching these little clips and stuff like this. And like, you're like, well, it was just something I wouldn't ordinarily do, but I had the time. You know, no one was bothering me. Adam wasn't blowing me, so it was a good day in the office.
I wasn't under your desk.
Look at my dick.
Blowing. I remember that. But yeah, the good old days when blowjobs were legal.
Or COVID.
Damn you, Charlie Baker, taking everything fun away so we could be safe and healthy. And you took away my vape pen. I want to smoke electricity. Fuck you.
Smoke electricity and blow someone. Well, get blown. You get the flap on the mask. That doesn't work very well.
Yeah, you can take out like the little air filter thing. Just start sucking dick. Just going to town.
Is it gay if you receive? Is it gay?
Oh, dude, if it's anything with a man, it's gay.
Thank you.
I'm against it. I don't think so. I'm a high.
But if you can get past that point and just like accept that it's gay, then fucking go for it.
I disagree.
Just get your dick sucked by a man. Stop being a queer and just get that dick sucked.
That is, I guess that's the comment of the night. Don't be a queer, get your dick sucked by a man.
There you go. Yeah.
You can probably sell a lot of those in P-Town.
Oh yeah, I love P-Town during the summertime.
I do too.
Great. But then there's nothing going on. There's nothing going on. Which is like I want to be near big hairy men, but then like all the big hairy men are fucking gone at that time.
A season.
Like,
big hairy men a season.
Yeah, they go into hibernation like actual bears, and they just crawl into little holes. You don't see them till June.
Dick Dock is a very quiet place in January, right?
Oh yeah, like TikTok has been like quiet for me like the past like 2-3 months. Like,
yeah.
Most of my following I got last year. But back to like what you were saying with the Instagram Reels, it's a shorter time length.
Yeah.
Their limit is 30 seconds. Yeah. And so you go by and shit, I've been taking a dump and it's been 45 minutes. Yeah. And I watched 1,200 videos already. And then I'm telling all these comics, like, don't post your shit like on the profile. Post it through Reels. Get your audience up.
Yeah.
Like literally any comic, just about any comic and I am not shy about saying this, just about any comic that has less followers than me on TikTok right now, I feel should have more followers than me right now.
Yeah,
because they have more consistent. They have more consistent content with me. I'm all over the fucking place. I'm talking about pro wrestling. I'm talking about comedy. I'm just talking about my sex life. I'm all over the fucking place. Lily Meyer, another boss comedian, has some of my favorite content. And then Jimmy Cash as well. I don't know if you haven't had Jimmy Cash on. The janitor with Stan. Have him on.
yeah.
Dude's a fucking trip.
Oh yeah.
He's had 3 viral videos right now, just him just being a janitor, and a lot of people relating to it. Right now, he should have more followers than me.
Yeah.
And there's only one person that I don't think should have more followers than me. And that's Mike Fahey. But other than that, everyone else should have more followers than me right now.
What do you prefer, Rails or TikTok? What's been more
well,
similar,
really
right?
neither right now. But I'd say TikTok right now because I have 100,000 followers. But as of right now, the last month was probably my hardest month since the first month that I opened a TikTok.
Yeah,
I was I'm just getting no traffic whatsoever, and I'm starting to realize, okay, I need to evolve my shit constantly and get that up. So I'm just still trying to feel it out.
You do YouTube at all, or you kind of you just weren't looking for the short kind of clips kind of thing?
I do not do YouTube, but I really need to start getting into that because YouTube is, speaking of that, YouTube has started to do their own and have YouTube Shorts. So they're starting to have their own little version of that. So I'm thinking, okay, I need to jump on that and get that going as well. But it's Instagram Reels. It's never they say for TikTok that you never know what's going to go viral. Yeah, that's even more of a case for Instagram Reels. My stupidest shit has gone viral on Instagram Reels, but the stuff that I've put all day on gets nothing. Gets 2 views. My dad saw it. That's about it.
Yeah. How's the algorithm work for Reels? Is it just by hashtag, or is it just kind of it just randomly puts it out there? Because you don't necessarily get Reels of people you follow. It just gives you random shit sometimes, right?
Yeah, it just gives you nobody really
knows how it works.
Nobody
right?
really knows. It's all over the place. If TikTok was Bosnia in the mid 90s, then
be fucked.
Yeah, then Instagram Reels is Hotel Rwanda. We don't know what's going on with it. But just post and hope for the best. It's just literally playing the lottery, playing the algorithm lottery.
It's like Charlie from Dunkin' Donuts. Are you familiar with her? The girl who does. She was big with the iced coffee, and she had the orange fingernail polish, and she was doing this weird thing with the iced coffee. It was big on the summertime, and it was have the Charlie. Now she has her own drink at Dunkin' Donuts, and she basically just did a bunch of what was it, TikTok?
Oh, Charlie DeMello. Yeah.
You familiar with
her? She's on TikTok.
You kidnapped her? She in your closet? Is she in your closet?
No, I'm in my closet.
Charlie's safe and sound, I guess we could say.
Yeah.
We had Adam go to Dunkin' Donuts every morning. We see her, and she was just what the fuck this broad doing? She got famous for just drinking a fucking iced coffee in front of Dunkin' Donuts.
Well,
I heard that she was going to have her own drink. I've just never been inside a Dunkin' Donuts. Well, at least in the past 3 years.
They just released it. It's very excited. A couple days ago.
Is it good?
I haven't tried it. No, I get
16.
I'm an old guy. I'm an old fucking guy from North Shore to get the same fucking thing every day.
Same, yeah. Most people do.
Yeah, I'm not trying anything new, especially of a fucking drink of a girl, a guy's name with a girl. That's gonna confuse the hell out of
me. Neither is many of the comics in Boston. I'm not gonna try anything new. My old shit's gonna work. It's gonna work to eventually. Fuck changing. Fuck trying everything. Go with what's comfortable.
It was
stay within the comfort zone. Don't go beyond the line. Just stay within it. Stay within the cones.
Well, that's Giggles on and Saugus. Basically, you get the same old guys doing the same jokes for the last 30 years.
I fully support Giggles only booking the same people over and over again. because like they'll never book someone like me. I would
No.
love them to,
Yeah.
but like they're not gonna book a queer guy anytime soon. Like they're gonna have, it's like you said, like they're booking like the same guys, but like my argument for not booking the same people is, all right, look at your business 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Are a lot of those same people gonna still be doing
But
it?
they're going to be dead, or because their clientele are like people in their 60s now that were in the 30s when they were seeing these same guys, and now they're going to be dead in another 20 years, and then no one's going to go. So you got to do it like Kowloon's, like at least brings in newer people as they go, but like
Right.
Giggles, it's like it's the same 5 comics, and the comics are in their 70s, so it's like you're
Like,
running out of time.
Giggles is always put on like a very consistent show.
Yes, very
like
much so.
the people that go there, because I visit there like once a month, check out a show.
Yeah.
They like the crowd that's there, well, it's always going to have a good time.
Yeah,
like they have their formula. They know what works. Like they have, like you're saying, they have their comfort zone. Don't want to necessarily step out of that. I personally think that they should, but that's not my business.
Yeah,
like that's their business to run. If they don't want to risk it, that's completely up to them. Like there's like a lot of places that won't book me. Like as much as I love the Comedy Studio, they haven't booked me for a live show since probably February 2017.
Really?
Like,
and
yeah.
Why is there that? Did they ever tell you why, or is just
oh no. Well, like I'm not necessarily like their cup of tea for a while.
Yeah.
But then like recently I've been doing their virtual shows, which have been awesome. Like I don't hold it against somebody if they don't book me. Yeah. But to me, like if you don't book me, you're missing out. Because like if you try to have me first, I'm gonna try to mop the fucking floor with the crowd. And generally with urban crowds and rural crowds, that's when I do best. But city, that's where I want to do a little bit better. That's where I feel that like I do well, but not as good as if I'm in front of like a bunch of truckers, or if I'm in front of a bunch of.
I like how you say truckers, like a bunch of lot lizards just running around a fucking truck stop in Connecticut.
just like back to where you came, boy. but like the thing is with rural crowds and urban crowds, like minus like media references, they laugh at the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And it's like cake. It's comedy heaven.
Yeah.
You performed in Vermont. It is so fucking good. Like
it is. Yeah.
It's comedy nirvana.
Okay.
Like every year we do maybe like three shows in Vermont. All of them better than the last.
Why is that though? Out of curiosity, like why is the Vermont crowd more kind of open to this? It's because there's a lack of comedy up there, and then every comedy they get, they love, and they just want more of it, or is it because Boston you get a lot of comedy and a lot of it gets kind of watered down because it's the same shit, so many places going on, so much, and then like is it I guess I could say in New Hampshire I've noticed when I've done stand up there, the crowds have been a little more free and more happy to be there type. I guess you could say. I don't know if that makes sense. Just because there's such a lack of it.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And that feeling that you get in New Hampshire, it's literally doubled.
Really? In Vermont?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But like
okay.
in Burlington, you'll do well. Like which is like this. But like outside of it, rural areas, like you're saying, they hardly have any comedy. So they're happy to see a show. And as long as you're good, you're gonna do well.
You gave them a reason to go out that night, and they enjoy themselves. They got a babysitter. They were able to have a couple laughs, a few cocktails.
A couple of them brought their babies.
Maybe someone brought their babies. Yeah. We're telling
because their babysitter was out seeing the show.
Yeah, him off the 2-year-old sitting in the front row because we're gonna be talking about clitoris. It's gonna be great.
Now the because when I do fundraiser shows, I'm relatively clean. But when I do a club show or I do one that's not particularly a fundraiser or mine, I'm dirty as hell. Like I'm going through everybody's grab bags. I'm going through that, and like someone won jars of honey, and like one of them was white, and I was just showing the crowd. It was like, what does this look like? Come on.
I
I just opened it up. I thought it's come. And that's it.
So that's smart of you. When you do shows like that, you stay clean. So the best man who had the incident at the wedding, when I was running for city councilor, I had brought him on board to kind of help us with the fundraiser party. So you got some comedians and did not tell him to be clean. And we do horrific dick jokes and rape jokes going on in my fundraiser
Jesus
party.
Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Who was it?
You were there.
I was there. Oh shit!
We had those comedians and the guy, and then there were kids there. We had to bring the kids out in the lobby. It was like a 7-year-old there. He was hearing jokes about getting raped in the ass on St. Patrick's Day. It was, and I'm sitting there like, ooh, I'm like, this could be bad for my political career.
Yeah.
I mean, he should have known anyway. But like rape and abortion jokes, I stay the hell away from.
Especially in a political fundraising party. You don't know what you're
to say the least. They're just like, vote for this guy. Rape.
There was actually a write-up on me in the local paper saying about something about comedians and the fucking fundraiser party. And I was like, ooh. Hey, good.
Is this what your campaign is going to be like? Just people going around, just fucking butts. I'm like, what's
what you're all about, sir?
Right. Hey, listen, even bad news is good news. It's good press. Pick up my name out there. So when you do corporate parties, because I hear this a lot from a lot of comedians, like there's a love-hate between corporate parties because the money's really good, but like, the fact of like actually being able to enjoy yourself on stage is really trying because you don't know what you're going to get for people there, and then you don't really know the limitations, the way you can go, and sometimes you kill, and then sometimes it's just like a dead crowd. Like, do you just think about the money when you're on there and be like, yeah, I don't give a fuck if these people are enjoying themselves, or is it just like you're trying, you know?
You only think about the money if you're bombing.
Okay.
That's a good way to put it.
It's like
you're on stage, like, okay, I have 10 more minutes, but
I'm still getting paid, so it doesn't really matter.
I get to do my car payment this month. The way that I see it is because I've been doing this, let's see, it's 2014. I've been doing this for like a little over 7 years. Okay. And in that short amount of time, I've learned like a little more what to do. Like thing one, if you're doing a corporate party for someone, specifically let the booker know that everyone should know that there's stand-up comedy there. Oh yeah, that's a big one right there. Yeah, you don't want to ambush. That was a big mistake that I was waiting for a while. Yeah. And it's just like, we're gonna surprise them with comedy. Just like, no, don't do that. No, yeah. Just like that's the equivalent of you're just going, you're talking to your friends, and then people are just fucking on stage. Like it's kind of cool, yeah. But you weren't really prepared for that. It's funny you said that because I used just like going around watching clapping cheeks. I'm just like, I just want to hang out with my friends. I used to host a comedy show like once a month at this like Mexican restaurant in Rivera, but they would advertise it kinda, but like people would be staying at the hotel and just come down for dinner, and all of a sudden they get ambushed of a comedy show like out of nowhere. Like there was no separate room; it was in the fucking bar. Like so you had no choice but to listen. So you're sitting there eating a fucking quesadilla, and then some guys on stage talking about dick jokes, and it's like, I didn't expect this to happen. Like. It's a terrible situation to surprise someone with comedy, especially if it isn't like exactly their cup of tea. You know what I mean? It's like, holy shit. Yeah, and nobody wants a non-consensual comedy show. No. Like if they know ahead of time, then they're gonna have a good time. Yeah, they prepare themselves. I specifically let them know. Oh yeah, thing two. Also tell people we're not gonna go out of our way to pick on them. Like, unless they're being disruptive to the show, we're not going to go around as Liam McGurk would say, you're fat, you're stupid, you'll never find love, you're gay. It just, and plus, like, I don't really book crowd working comedians for that reason. Because that's a big risk. I mean, exceptions, obviously, John Parada, who I consider a mentor to me in the business and everyone else, but just you can't bring someone to a corporate gig that's gonna be like, are you two a couple? Is this your first date? Did you fuck yet? Did you fuck yet? "Oh, you look like homo. Head out of here!" Just like stop calling people homo.
They're gonna sit in the office together, and like Monday they sit there and be like, "Were you uncomfortable as I was at this party?"
Well, I wasn't at first, but the second time he called me homo, like it got a little uncomfortable.
The worst part
since you are sorry, but I was saying, like, since you are a gay comedian, you can get away with you. And this must be like a playground out there for you. You can pretty much say whatever you want. You could say what straight people can't say. You could pretty much say almost anything.
Well, bisexual and a lot of people see us. No, I don't care. Like I personally don't care because I'm in my 30s. I'm not gonna be like Rami Malek, just like, you called Freddie Mercury gay, we're gonna cancel you. It's just like I don't care.
No, I know that's great, but there's like no repercussions for you because you are. It's like the people who that's great. That's amazing.
And plus I can hit on just about anybody. I mean, I'm gonna get canceled 20 years from now, but for now, woohoo!
You open your dating pool by 50%, you can go anywhere. I mean, it's a perk, I guess you can say.
Remember I was saying to Arty once, and he looked at me weird until I explained it. I'm like, it would be great, hypothetically, to be bisexual. I'm not, though, unfortunately. I just like women, right? But like hypothetically,
but how do you know?
It's not attracted. It's not attracted to.
It's the crying game.
Adam and I were in a situation where we seen some stuff that, like, if we would have probably went to that way, but we both established that moment that, and I'm gonna leave it very vague.
It all depends on what you like. Not everybody likes the 6-pack abs. He
looked like this guy looked like he came off of a 18-wheeler at a fucking truck stop in Louisville.
Ooh,
get in there. Trucker hat too. Like, it would be great because you get the best of both worlds. Like, you could walk into the men's room, you're attracted to that. You know, you just go anywhere, you're attracted to everything, pretty much.
Well, it's not like I'm attracted to like everything. Like, it's not like you want to fuck every single woman.
And female. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's just like I go to the bathroom stall, I'm looking at everybody's dicks. They're just like impressive.
But you could. Like, I can't go to the women's room.
Yeah, I mean, you still can go in there and look at people's dicks. Like, you don't have to be just like every penis. Every penis.
Every penis.
An interesting perspective.
Oh, yeah. It's nice to meet you. Nice cock, by the way.
Dude, that awkward guy that stands back and goes, all right.
Looking over the divider wall while you're at the urinal.
Coconut oil? I smelled the coconut oil on your cock.
I heard this story. No, like, it's just fucking ridiculous. So another thing, I don't know if you know the thing, but the thing where, like, there's certain restrooms where guys will hook up with guys and do the foot tap.
Oh yeah, when they're on the down low. Classic
right.
SVU episode about it.
Yes.
Where,
so,
like, dudes just go in, like, while their wives are out shopping, they just go to the bathroom and bang. It's classic.
There's a thing where a guy will go into the stall with another guy, but he'll step into a shopping bag, so it looks like the guy's sitting on the toilet with a shopping bag in front of him, so you don't see the extra pair of legs. Like, I was fascinated by this. Some guy was describing it on the radio the other day. He's like, yeah, you can blow a guy in the bathroom because he stands in the bag, and when someone goes in there, they just see a bag and a guy sitting on the toilet.
That is a great idea.
Because you think, like, you look down the stall, like, oh, there's something going on. But if you see the shopping bag, you just think, oh, the guy just went shopping. Yeah,
but then you see the legs there. It's just like, I got next.
Yeah, we had the legs. Yeah, that was on the Anthony Cumia show. I seen that last week on Compound.
Dude, I haven't listened to him since he got fired for calling that black lady a gorilla.
Oh yeah, that was a bad situation. He has a paid network with about, I don't know, it's like 5 or 6 shows on there. It's not bad. Compound Media. It's getting very entertaining.
No, but he's doing well.
Doing very good. Yeah, I mean, I subscribed once he started the thing up back in, like, it was like 2014ish or something like that. It's very entertaining. He really shows that he was the better half of the opening Anthony extravaganza there. But
I think he's fun. I think he's hilarious. I think he's funny as a human being. I think he's a piece of shit.
Oh, he's a terrible human being, but he's a very.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's funny though. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he wouldn't be a guy who would be like, yeah, this is a good friend of mine.
Yeah, he's like a Fred Toucher in that sense. Like, he's a piece of shit.
Fuck Fred Toucher. Oh, don't get me started. I get enraged sometimes.
Your friend's name is Fred Toucher. What?
Oh
Toucher
yeah,
and Rich. They're on 98.5.
98.5.
Oh, okay, Toucher and Rich. Okay, yeah.
Guy's a cocksucker.
I like Fred.
Not in the bad way. Not like he enjoys it. Like he's just an asshole.
Oh, okay. So don't hit him up. Okay.
You should hit him up though. Let me know how it works out. You probably
hey, suck my cock. Oh yeah, I'm told on the Arty show that it's not gay that I'm getting my dick sucked by you.
Fucking AJ amplified for a touch. I mean, he's going through a divorce. So
well, like I could Bubba the Love Sponge's wife.
Just
like brother.
My brother. Yeah, I'm gonna set this camera up in a book, and no one's gonna know it. And I'm gonna have sex with my wife, brother. Yeah.
But with the cancellations, it's funny how our heroes are because Hulk Hogan, he was everybody's hero back in the day. Just like, oh, America. Even though he wears the color of McDonald's, like he's amazing. And he's American. And then you grow up, and then you see that film, and like, wow, Hulk Hogan was a really shitty porn star.
Yeah.
And then your childhood just shattered.
So AJ, I want to tell you, I would enjoy going to. I've never been to a live wrestling event ever, and like I know they have at the Garden like a few times a year. I would enjoy going with you because I think you would be able to provide some kind of humor and then some kind of intellectual information to make it actually so I could put everything together. I think you'd be a perfect person to go to an event with.
I would be so happy to take you to a show when stuff starts opening again.
Let's do this. Let's plan on this because I would. Adam, I know Adam wants to go too. Adam was like,
I would love to go.
We have to. I've never seen an event live. I hear it's incredible. And I watched.
And, the one that the type of show that we should go to. So you got your regular shows on TV.
Yeah.
Like WWE has three televised shows a week. But then in between, they have what's called a house show, which is pretty much the open mic of wrestling.
Okay.
And those are the ones that I recommend go because that's the ones that they're trying out new shit. And that's when you tend to see the most amount of comedy. That's when you get the most amount of laughs. And so like even somebody that just isn't a general, like not someone that isn't even a casual watcher.
Yeah,
will enjoy the hell out of a house show.
And where do they do that? At the same place they do the big show?
Generally, it can be done the same place at a big show or a smaller venue.
Okay, I never even heard this before. This is like new to me. Like these.
Oh yeah, they want to be but they call it live events now because house show sounds kind of ghetto-y.
Yeah.
But live events and
then people fist pumping like a house show. You got a bunch of wrestlers just fucking beating the beat.
Well, that'd be wrestler Zack Ryder. that's pretty much his gimmick. And then I'd see this other show called Ring of Honor, and then like it's just straight grappling wrestling, and then just like with a little bit of comedy. And then there's this other one for a while, Chikara, but which was I think closed down because of Me Too-y stuff. But they, yeah, like that and Pro Wrestling Guerrilla was strictly comedy wrestling. So a lot of the guys that you see in WWE now, they would do those shows for almost shit money.
Okay.
But they do it because it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was one time they had like a slow wrestling match. That like a slow-mo wrestling match.
Motion, like
yeah, like whoa, no, and they're doing all this slow, and like the crowd is just crying, and the crowd was even playing along, and they were being in slow motion too. Like, oh no!
Awesome.
And then there was this legendary wrestler, Jushin Thunder Liger, like well respected in Japan, but then when he did that show, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. He just cut loose. They're just like, yeah, stick your thumb in my asshole.
Stick your thumb in my asshole.
but he said, like, stick your thumb in asshole. And then, so he did. And then there was just a train. I'll send this to you. There's just a train of wrestlers sticking thumbs in each other's assholes. And it's the funniest thing in my goddamn life. And like 3 of them are former WWE champions.
Adam, tomorrow when we go to the office, I'm gonna feel like sticking a thumb in my asshole. See how many people we can get joining in on it.
And then Tommaso Ciampa, who's the world champion right now, like a lot of the stuff that they did there obviously wouldn't fly because they has to appeal to a national stage.
Yeah.
But then what Tommaso Ciampa was do is like he was like a wrestler would be bent over and then he just stick his thumb up his ass and then he just lick his thumb right afterwards.
Oh, fuck. Wrestling community is fucked.
They would obviously not fly these days. And then there was this other woman, Candice LeRae. She would do what was called the ballsplex, where she would like cup a dude's balls and then just suplex him behind her. Yeah. She's never done that in WWE. She's like one of the top guys right now. But she did it. But she did it to a woman once in WWE, and then just said, like, I think it was called the Vagplex, like maybe that one time. But like, other than that, like, they've never heard that on TV.
There you go, kids. If you're watching the show, watch wrestling. I never watched it as a kid, and I kind of regret not watching it as a kid because I was very entertained. I had a friend who
the stuff that I watched as a kid, like I tried to go back and watch it. I'm like, holy shit, this is garbage.
Yeah,
I hated it. Other than like The Rock and like Stone Cold promos and like a lot of the other stuff. But then I'm not realizing like how racist and how sexist a lot of it is. I'm just like, wow, this sucked.
I remember having a friend bawling his eyes out when he found out the wrestling wasn't real. We were like in 7th grade. He's like, it's not real? I'm like, no, dude, it's not fucking real. And it's like, look, it's not real. And I thought it was real. He was fucking crying. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? He's like, you really think these people throwing each other through like real fucking, furniture? Like, I mean, what the fuck?
The furniture is gimmicked, but they're still falling.
They're still falling. They're like live action stunt doubles. So like, that's
but speaking of that, there was there's a certain chair that you're supposed to hit, but then so he grabbed like the heavier chair, smacked a wrestler the other day, and he was just like he got a concussion, and then he's like bleeding everywhere. And then because these two wrestlers, Matt Hardy, one of my favorites, and Sammy Guevara, great wrestlers.
Was that Matt Hardy?
They just suck together.
Was he part of the Hardy Boys?
Yes.
Oh yes, I'm familiar with the Hardy Boys. Yes.
Yeah. Matt Hardy is one of my favorites, but then like him and Sammy Guevara don't click at all. Yeah. And then so he was supposed to fall off the scaffolding and fall onto a table to kind of break his fall. Still hurts, but it's better than falling on cement. Like, all right.
That's right.
And then so he pushed Matt Hardy too far. So Matt, bleeding from his head, like his head hit the back of the car, and they're from like 10, 12 feet up. And then so like literally the doctor stopped the match at first, but then Matt Hardy backstage is like, no, we got to continue. We got to continue. This is a pay-per-view. Yeah. And it was in the news. So many people were pissed and just like mad at the company for just like continuing on with it. And then he jumped off another scaffolding afterwards.
Well, didn't you have the guy? Oh my God, what the hell was his name? Who was coming down off he died.
Oh, Owen Hart.
Yeah. The thing just fell, and he was in Kansas City or St. Louis. He just fucking fell to his death. Like, and then they were like, we don't know what to do. Like, is he dead? And what the fuck? It's like, is this real? Yeah. How do you?
Yeah. Because like the thing is, like back then, like they didn't really distort like our reality too much. They're like, okay, this must be a storyline. Like, no. Yeah. Even Jim Ross, the announcer, right before he found out literally Owen Hart died 10 seconds before they did like a commercial break. And then like he comes like, by the way, you're to announce that Owen Hart died. 3, 2, 1. He has to announce it right there. Just like, dude, you just found out a dude just died 10 seconds ago. And yeah, like, what do you even say to that shit? And what's fascinating about it, it's like it's not a spot that Owen Hart hadn't done before, but they used a different scaffolding company, and it was one that's safe, but they didn't like how hokey it looked because like it went through his legs, so it's like his balls were just kind of sticking out a little. They're like, well, we don't want to see his walrus mouth, so we're gonna go with this other scaffolding company. Big fucking mistake, because Owen Hart, great wrestler, like great promo artist. But then, like, they went with another company and that weren't experienced at all. And they used fucking, like, the same ropes and, like, that they use on sailboats.
Oh, God.
That they're using on a man that they didn't test out. And then all of a sudden, and all of a sudden, snap, boom. He's dead. Just like that. And for 20 years, people were going after his ex-wife. Like, why don't you let Owen Hart into the Hall of Fame? Why don't you let him to the Hall of Fame? This is the same company that murdered my husband. Why the fuck would I let him into it?
Yeah.
Think about any work you have. like in The Office, and all of a sudden they just accidentally kill your husband.
Yeah.
Like, do you want him to like be on the employee like Hall of Fame like forever? No, fuck that shit.
Imagine,
They're
Adam,
murderers.
imagine if Steve the reviewer fucking murdered me. Like, you know, that'd be it. We get a guy, Steve the reviewer.
And he's the one that gets to do your eulogy. He's singing Sarah McLachlan.
Oh shit.
Or worse, they sing Fuel. It's like, leave the memories alone. I want you to stay.
Oh shit. All right, so we're getting close to the end here. AJ, where can we find you? Where the people out there can find you? Where's a good search you up?
Pornhub. No. You find me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Please, I need more Instagram followers. I still can't break that 2,000. I would love like a
right. Yeah, 2,000 tough. 2,000 is tough to get to.
Yeah,
I feel like once you get that 2,000, you're good to go though.
I can't break that. I wish I had a fraction of the followers I had, like on other social media, but like I can't get that. Just like show your dick. I'm just like not on that because I don't want to get flagged. Just like look at my Pornhub account. I will show you my dick, but not on Instagram. So yeah, at AJ Hapenny. That's AJ the word penny. AJ Hapenny. And you see me at Headliners Comedy Club this weekend. The weekend after that, first weekend in April. And then started officiating weddings, and then I literally don't have anything scheduled after that I remember.
Where's that Headliners? Is that in Boston?
They got a few different locations in New Hampshire.
Oh, New Hampshire. I was gonna say because I don't remember hearing it in Boston.
Yeah. So like right now, and Rob Steen, the guy that runs Headliners Comedy Club. He's crazy as hell, but I love that dude. I know if I'm gonna like to talk with him, like, all right, I'm gonna be talking to this guy for 2 hours because I know I can't step away because like I'm just fascinated by his stories and his craziness. But he has a few different locations right now. He's putting in like movie theaters for chunkies because they're not being used right now.
Yeah.
So great.
Love chunkies.
Social distancing, great spacing.
Yeah.
And then like he just lets me fuck around with my time. Just like just do this amount as long as you're funny. I don't care.
Hell yeah.
As long as you don't talk about rape and abortion. I'm just like not my thing. Unlike that campaign show I went to, but other than that,
fucking A. Awesome, man. Well, hey, Lee, thanks for joining us tonight. When Boston finally gets some shows, I'm gonna hit you up because I want to go with you because I want to experience the WWE experience of someone who's seasoned in the arts.
Oh yeah,
it's a great time.
It's definitely a trip.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, and like I could see Adam's like half smile, like he's looking at porn.
Or he's pissing into a bottle.
Just looking at Gmails. Like I could see like that light, like the half light smile. And, just
he's looking at your Pornhub right now. Actually, he's judging you.
Looking for your grinder.
I see it on the light. Grinder I stay away from because you have to think dudes are the worst that on hitting on people. And then, like, on Grindr, you have to remember, dudes are still dudes.
Still dudes. I can see that. Oh, yeah. So you say, really bad.
You say, hi, how was your day? Dick. I'm just like, come on, dude. That's not your dick. That doesn't even match your skin color.
You're looking that in depth. Wait. Yeah,
and we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it on dick skin. Thank you, everyone.
Nice to meet you, everyone.
Thank you for joining us, brother. Have a good night.
Thanks for having me.
Nice to meet you, man.
Latest. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Oh, there we go. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, good. Nice, cool dude. Man,
funny guy, huh?
Wow.
How fun would it go to a WWE event with that guy would be?
I'd be a blast.
Oh my God. Because the cool thing about that is you get some background information on top of what's going on too. So it'd be like kind of like the director's cut. You know what I mean? Because he would know some of the stuff because you and I don't watch wrestling. We don't know.
No.
So it looks entertaining, doesn't it? You could drink, you can hang out. It's an excuse to go out on a Monday night.
Howard could always educate us, but he wouldn't be able to follow. He'd be
depends how much alcohol you drank before. We'll take AJ, we'll take Eric, and you and I would go there and just sit there and relax and watch the two of those two go at it. They'll probably Eric will be,
that'd be hilarious. That'd be good.
I was one Bud Light away.
That's what we should try to do. Get him to hook up.
I was one.
Oh God, I like this idea.
When he dies and I have to read his eulogy, my last line is going to be like, he was one Bud Light away. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to drop the mic. That's it. That was it. And we'll all remember, he was one Bud Light away. It's funny that we like rag on him so much. You think he'd be watching the show and want to just like chime in? He's probably sleeping right now, probably.
Probably. He's old.
Yeah, he's an old man. He's almost 50. It is what it is. The Arty 84 show, we are trying to figure out a way to do a dive bar pub crawl in Salisbury Beach this upcoming spring. Remember we talked about this like it was last week. There's still a lot of dive bars up in Salisbury, and it would be a fun little Saturday to get away and maybe drink for a few hours and then go to bed very early that day because we probably won't be able to stay past too much past dusk.
True.
We can bring a little Henry. We can put him in one of those like baby bonjour things. You know what I mean? We can give him a little helmet with 2 bottles on the top with some milk so he can drink and hang out. Maybe he can be the designated driver. We'll see.
That could be scary.
I'm looking forward to him. Like, I like him being a little kid, but I'm looking forward to him to being like 17 years old where he can drive. I mean, that's the reason you have kids, right? To make him a designated driver. Who knows? Adam, you could adopt it. You should adopt a 17-year-old.
No. Nope.
So we have someone to drive us around and be like, hey, listen, kid, you want your allowance? You got to drive me and your delinquent friends around fucking Boston on a Saturday night.
All right, brother. Well, it's that time.
Yeah. Is it that time? It is that time.
Way past that time.
All right. We'll have a new video coming out Friday on the Whirlwind Potato, right?
Yes. Yeah. New video drops Friday at 11 a.m.
11 a.m. And you can check my new video coming out on the Wicked Explorers at 8 p.m. on Friday. So you can watch the potato, and you can take a nap, and you can watch the Wicked Explorers. So there you go.
Or you can go to work and come home and at 8 o'clock watch Arty's video, then watch my video.
Or you can do both. Yeah, you can do.
Or both, vice versa.
I enjoy when I get the alert that there's a new Whirlwind Potato. And do you want to sneak peek what it's about, or you want to kind of keep it?
It's one of those videos I'm not actually in it. It's just one that's like me voicing over. It's just it's about Nicolas Cage.
Nick Cage. Who doesn't love Nick Cage?
His zaniness and why I find him to be a very fascinating, one of the most fascinating actors in Hollywood.
He is very fascinating indeed. So There you go. And thank you all there for watching on YouTube. If you listen to iTunes or Spotify, thank you for listening. Especially if you're from Virginia, our #1 state, Virginia. I don't know why, but you guys like us down there, so we appreciate that. And we'll see you guys soon. Toodaloo, motherfuckers. Bye.